Hi everyone, I'm Annemiek, founder of the Academy for Soul-Based Coaching, and I'm here today with Maria Anderson, and it's a real delight. Maria is a High Priestess. She initiates women in her circle into the way of the priestess, and she's founded a beautiful community online as well, where a lot of women are joining her. And she's been traveling with Soul-Based Coaching over the last, a year now? I think it is about a year. As one of our coaches in training. And today she's really kindly agreed to share with us about her journey, because this is always such an incredibly important part of, so what does this work do for people? Hi Maria, welcome.
Hi Annemiek, thank you so much for having me in this space. It's good to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So would you share a little bit with us where you were in your life, where you came from, a little bit over a year ago?
Yeah, my journey with Soul-Based Coaching started first of all in a really unexpected way. So I just launched my business. I shifted from running a birth franchise into starting out with a holistic therapy business and meditation circles and things, where I, through I guess divine coincidence, bumped into Emer Stassen at a coffee shop, and we were just talking, and she was telling me that she trained in Soul-Based Coaching, or she was training, and would I like to do some sessions with her. And so I did, just as I was just curious and interested in what it would. I had no real intention behind what I was expecting or expectations or anything. And really quickly I realized how much stuff was kind of locked inside me that I wasn't really willing to look at yet. And with those sessions with Emer, we really kind of started to map out what I wanted from my relationship, what I'd wanted to shift in terms of location and where we were. At that point, I think I was just pregnant with my third baby as well. So there was a lot of change happening anyway. In fact, I'm not sure if I was pregnant or not. And then we had a little gap between our second and third session because I gave birth. And so when we came back to doing the third session, I'd had the baby and lots of stuff had really shifted from those two sessions alone that we'd had. It was really curious and interesting looking back at what I'd come up with during those two sessions compared to maybe a year later, maybe not that long, doing the third session and seeing how much had changed or how much I'd achieved that I'd wanted to have happen from those sessions by the time the third one came. And I realized that it just really unpacked a lot of personal stuff for me in terms of relationships with my family, about tapping back into my creativity. There was a lot of fear around, it was about unlocking a box, and there's this box that Emer really wanted to explore and what was inside the box and all of this. And there's a lot of fear around it, but my journey personally with Soul-Based Coaching helped me to unlock that box, which was my creativity, which was my emotional kind of part of who I am, and then to bring and marry all of that part into my business. And so it changed so much for me personally that I just kept seeing you, Annemiek, and feeling really called, and then humming and hawing about, do I sign up? Do I not? Is it the right time? I've just had a baby, and the money side of things, and kind of still just not sure, but feeling that call anyway. And then as I kind of grew in myself and started to trust intuition more, I decided that even though it didn't make sense at the time of having a newborn, and it didn't make sense in terms of maybe the money, the soul urge was so strong that it was like, I have to honor this. I don't know why I need to do it, but I just know that this is a really strong pull to this community and that it's helped me, so this is what has to happen. And so I joined, and it just continues to lead me down this whole other path where the box keeps being unlocked even more and more and more, and it's been really lovely.
Yeah, when I look back at kind of your journey and all the things that have changed in your physical life as well, like your everyday, just the reality of your everyday life, it's been amazing to witness. And can you say a little bit about the difference it has made for you? How have things changed for you, in you, besides moving out to the country, which was something I think you longed for a long time, didn't you?
Yeah, so my husband and I had been looking at this village that we now live in Scotland for 7 years. And we kept coming and viewing houses, and we just really knew this is where we were meant to be. But there was a lot of fear around, are we going to be isolated? Don't know, but we weren't happy where we were in the town that we were. And we knew we wanted to move. And this is what kept coming up in my soul-based coaching session that I did as a client, this need to move. And what came out in one session as well was this rectangular shape with all this green and meadow behind it, and the feeling of what it felt like in that space was really magical. And so when we came to view this house, which is very rectangular, and behind the house is meadow and forest and everything, I just knew, oh my God, looking back in the notes, I saw this, my soul knew this before I even knew about it. And so it really helped to sort of manifest this new reality a lot quicker and move past the fear of the what ifs and the isolation and all of that. It's just going, well, this is, again, it's a soul desire, and just saying yes to it. So that has obviously changed. You know, physically live in a different location, but also my business has changed dramatically from being a holistic therapist to now working primarily online and really tapping into creativity to connect with women and use all the skills I had anyway, but kind of marrying that in with soul-based coaching in a way that I get to be really creative and really tap into a space of nothingness to create new things for people and new offerings for people, in a way that I would never have even considered or known was possible before. All just from that, you know, listening to the soul voice during the sessions, even during the invoke work together that we did over those 6 months, and realizing it was time to allow my teenager to come out again and to come out to play and to get creative again and to think and change her perspective, really. So yeah, it's opened up my eyes and my vision enormously.
Yeah. It's so powerful to see how you bring your work forward in the world now, because it has all of you in it. It's completely infused with you, your personality, with all your, also your deeper desires, and that is just obvious for anybody who comes across you, I think. And it's so beautiful to know that, you know, that getting to be able to do soul-based coaching has enabled you to make that dramatic shift. And I can imagine that just before we went on live today, you shared about how you kind of knew you had to step away from your healing practice. But it was also a very scary step to do, because that was your income, right? That was what you knew how to do. And then, you know, moving to a tiny village in Scotland, it wasn't like you were thinking, well, you know, all of these clients will be lining up again. So how will that work for me? So it's beautiful to see how just adding this modality to all the skills that you already have is just open up so much more for you. That's really beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I think in a broad way that it's taught me is about the trust and the surrender, and of going against the grain and going against the logical part that will tell you, you know, you keep doing the therapies because that's your income and that makes sense, even though there's a misalignment somewhere that I started to feel quite uncomfortable and nervous about appointments, or just kind of secretly hoping someone would cancel or whatever because I was so tired. And there was that misalignment between what I wanted and how I shown up and all that kind of thing. And this work just taught me to prioritize my own alignment so that I could run my business around what actually does work for me. I've got 3 small children, so to make sure that when I was showing up, I was doing from a place of true overflow and not just taking on anybody and doing any work because it meant money. It then made me consider, oh look, I actually matter. I have to be okay, and I have to be really topped up so I can best serve and best bring my gifts to the world in a way that can benefit people. And actually now what has happened in doing so and moving away from logic is that I work with more people in one go through group coaching and group packages and things like that, and impact more people on a global scale now. So I've got clients in New Zealand and America and all over now, whereas before I was limited to one small town. So, you know, it's really just meant a more conscious way of showing up and impacting people in the world on a bigger scale by putting yourself first.
Yeah, by putting yourself first and by actually working less, right? Yeah, that's just so exciting. Because of the beautiful internet, we can just do this. We can actually, we have so much more flexibility and choice when it comes to what we want to offer in the world. And the way that you're doing that and bringing your guests together is just a joy to witness. Thank you very much. There's one more thing that I wanted to ask you, because part of your gift set is that I think you're Claire knowing. Is that right?
I'm kind of all of them.
Kind of all of them, right? Yeah.
So clear audience, I can hear spirits. Clear sentient, I can feel them. And I get touched quite often. Clear, what's the other one? I forget what they all are. The inner knowing one. Pretty much, yeah, all the clears.
All the clears. So
yeah.
What's really interesting is to just kind of check, so what is for you the relationship between that part of you and that way of knowing, and then using soul-based coaching with your clients?
Yeah, this was the biggest and most exciting thing for me that I realized perhaps other coaches wouldn't be aware of in the same way. So when I'm doing soul-based coaching with clients, and we work with metaphor in soul-based coaching, as obviously you know, and what I'd found from before that, I was doing psychic healing sessions where I use my hands and my energy to really tune into people's bodies and to channel in their spirits. So spirits of departed loved ones, their souls. I can also see people's souls leaving out their bodies to tell me things as well. And sometimes guides, sometimes all sorts of things would come into that healing space. And they always, very often, communicated with metaphor. Sometimes, yes, they would speak in sentences like you and I, but more often it would be through the power of metaphor. And what I saw time and time again was that by using metaphor to communicate with me, they could convey a range of different things in one image or in one metaphorical landscape that they presented to me, for me to then just know how to unpack it. And what I've received and what I understand from spending a lot of time channeling with spirits and source and things is that they do so because we're like babies, and we're babies in our understanding. And so the metaphor allows them to communicate in the way that is such high level in terms of light realms that us as humans can interpret and make sense of. And so then when I started to do soul-based coaching sessions, and as well, I would mention that I get physical touch and physical tingles very strongly when a spirit's coming through and working through me or around the client. Now with soul-based coaching sessions, when I'm facilitating that, as the client gets closer and closer into their metaphor, and when we ask the questions like, and that is like, what? When they have that moment where the really powerful and really clear metaphor drops, for me, I get the tingles just before they speak from head to toe. That is really, really a physical thing where I know something ethereal is with us. And it comes through usually in that moment when they're going, oh my God. And the amount of times I've heard clients say, that wasn't me, this isn't me speaking. And it's like invoke, or soul-based coaching allows them to invoke, to speak through their higher self is coming through them. And sometimes even their spirit team or their departed loved ones, because sometimes in a way that perhaps other coaches won't be aware of, sometimes I feel the gender of the spirit that's helping them with the metaphor, and I can tell, you know, if it's a grandfather or who it is, in the energy that's in the room. And I've noticed that my clients are starting to become aware of it as well. It's that way that they kind of go, this isn't me. And I feel like these sessions allow them to almost give themselves their own psychic reading. Like they become the channel for the spirits that otherwise they're too egoic to hear. And it just drops them into that space of being a real clear channel so they can actually hear the guidance that needs to come through. So for me, it's really beautiful and really special. And I love the physical tingles that come through because it's just, for me, confirmation or validation or whatever, that we're not working alone in these sessions. You know?
No, we're not. No, oh, this is beautiful. Thank you. It's really beautiful to hear you put words to it from the perspective that you have. And I so agree with you that when we're doing this work, we're not doing this, you know, it's not up to the coach. It is very much an opening up of the space so that this conversation can start to happen and the client can really tap into this deeper knowing. and that we get to be there to witness and to guide and to midwife that change that wants to happen.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Thank you so much, Maria. I know that we could talk about this much longer, but for today, let's just leave it here. Where can people find you if they want to know more about you and the work that you do?
Sure. So I'm on Facebook and Instagram. My business is Lunabeam, and my handle is at Art of a Priestess. So mainly on those platforms.
Beautiful. Well, we'll make sure to put them in the comments as well. Highly recommend you checking Maria out. And thank you very much, Maria. Enjoy, everyone. Enjoy. Thank you for watching. And until we meet again. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.